PW1.
Uh,
Are you
first,
comfortable?
we're very comfortable, but first of all, we thank God for today. We thank God that the matter has eventually kicked off um, without rancor. You know, you needed to have been in court to observe the proceedings. All the parties cooperated, and PW1 testified. PW1 is Mr. AAA, as he was designated. He investigated the matter 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And today he came and gave his evidence and tendered documents. The matter is very simple. The state has a case against our client, and we are defending him. And for the first time, the matter has been opened, and we have heard what the evidence is. On Friday, we are coming back to cross-examine him. But in the main, the matter has commenced on a good note, very sound note, very civilized trial. And we hope by the grace of God we'll continue on this note and get to the end.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Reason why we have to say something in addition to what the SAN has said. This gentleman here, these lawyers standing with me here, are members of the old guard. We have been there from the get-go, so we know the nitty-gritty of this case. Well, what I can add is we are finally here. The government is finally having the trial that it desires. Our position still remains unchanged despite the ongoing trial. That our client is innocent of the charges, that the case is driven by political considerations, and in the end, the innocence of our client will be established. So we take it from here to 2nd May, when we are going to subject the government witness who testified today. We are going to submit him to, or subject him to cross-examination, and then the truth shall begin to be revealed to everybody. Thank you very much.
All right.
We appreciate you always being around to cover this very political trial that has.
So, guys, it actually exploded in court today. Understand that Nnamdi Kanu appear in court with 19 lawyers. About 13 lawyers with 6 sons, okay, all defending one particular person. For you to know that Nigerian lawyers, they are even tired of this whole thing. You understand? Meanwhile, the Nigerian government witness scheduled to testify against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, okay, but we deliver their testimony behind protective screen. They say then they fear, okay? Say they don't want show face, then go cover face, okay? No let the judge and the lawyers go see who they talk. Say but the public not go know the person. Meanwhile, Nnamdi Kanu lawyers don't assure Nnamdi Kanu and his supporters say this case go end well for her. You understand? Because if we are in a same country, we should not be here now. This is someone that has been discharged and acquitted by the same Nigerian court. Appeal courts have discharged and acquitted Nnamdi Kanu, but we are still here today, still talking about the same matter. It don't make sense at all, you get. So, the world is watching this case carefully, and waiting the witness gets to talk. You understand? The world is watching. You know, the world is following this case. This case is a very high profile one, and the world want to see how Nigerian government eventually end this case. Because when you look at what is happening, the government of the day, okay, do not want to release Nnamdi Kanu. If you can also understand what the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, said at the end of this video, he said it's a political case. It's a political case, because if it's not a political case, Nnamdi Kanu should not be in DSS custody. The same person who said, yeah, they are being intimidated by the Nigerian government, they are being marginalized by the Nigerian government, you say no, nothing such is happening. You understand? But with what is playing out right now, it's happening. So how can you now defend this? How? How do you defend a case like this? people when be say they get the same charges with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that the federal government of Nigeria levied against them, they don't release them tete. So why is it that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu matter they different? So Justice James Omotosho granted the request of the Nigerian government witness, okay, during the proceeding on the 7-count terrorism charge filed by the federal government against Kanu. The applications for protective measures was brought by Omowolo, who argued that concealing the identities of the witnesses was necessary for their safety. So Omowolo told the court that given the sensitive nature of the terrorism charges, it was imperative to shade the witness from public exposure. He stressed that the measurement was essential to protect their identities and ensure their safety. Kanu's lawyer, Kanu Agbebi San, did not oppose that application. However, he requested mature cooperation from the federal government in future proceedings, particularly regarding a potential bail application for Kanu. So he said, we expect reciprocity when it is time to argue the bail application, Agbebi stated. In granting the ex parte application, Justice Omotosho ruled that the witnesses will testify from behind a screen, thereby remaining unseen by the public, though still visible to the judge and lawyers. So following the ruling, the prosecution called its first witness, identified in court as PWAA. Okay, the witness began testifying as the government officially opened its case against the IPOB leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So the trial continues in what is expected to be a closely watched legal battle. Sahara reporters earlier reported that Kanu, who has been in the custody of the Department of State Service (DSS) since his controversial extradition from Kenya in 2027, arrived in court flanked by a legal team comprising 6 senior advocates of Nigeria. Kanu San's appeared in court today. So when you join together Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Sons and the lawyers defending him in court, it amounts to 19 lawyers for one person. This is going to be like, wow.
The first update is that the prosecuting counsel representing the federal government has filed an ex parte application to the court to allow them to have their witnesses testify behind the screen, cancel their faces from being identified, to have witnesses' identities protected, to hide their names, age, and state of origin of the witness, to play a recorded audio as evidence. Meanwhile, the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho, granted the motion. Like, who does that? Have you ever seen a witness cover his face and he doesn't want to identify himself, the state of origin, his name, which means he is a ghost. A ghost is testifying against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, right? What are they afraid of? If truly that what they want to testify against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is true, so they're supposed to be bold enough to show their face so that Nigerians will truly know who they are, right? So moving on, the first witness stated that in 2025, he was set on a mission with his team to arrest the defendant, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, at the Golden Hotel in Lagos. So these are the items recovered from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's bag and being presented to the court by the witness. Number 1, black laptop, multi-mix transmitter, grey Apple iPad, grey MacBook, like a lot of things. But at the end of the day, they couldn't find gun, drug, knife. This to show you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. And also, when you think about all these stories, like, where is he heading to? So someone said this: reason why the first witness went as far as back as 2025 arrest, due to the lack of jurisdiction as to the location where the broadcast was made on their previous charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, they are trying to establish a proof that connects and also show that he was broadcasting in Nigeria jurisdiction hotel room in Lagos, so they can use it against him in the trial. To establish that Nnamdi Kanu made a broadcast in Nigeria and in Lagos to give the court jurisdiction to try him. Are you following? This is a tactical legal ambush from Federal Government Council, and we hope that Nnamdi Kanu's legal team are aware of this trick. And this is exactly what they are trying to achieve. So, according to the news, the current news right now, the prosecution maintains that it has jurisdiction to continue the trial of the defendant against the prayers of defendant counsel, echoing that the basis of this jurisdiction on the account and the testimony of the first witness during the arrest of the IPOB leader in Lagos 2025, where he was arrested with broadcasting equipment. So, my people, I hope you guys are getting the gist right now. So, this is the reason why they allowed the first witness, to go back to 2025 arrest, so that they will have proof that they have a jurisdiction to continue the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, which the legal team from Nnamdi Kanu was against, because according to them, Nnamdi Kanu was not doing the broadcast in Nigeria, right? So I hope you guys are getting the gist right now.
Look at you.
Oh, we look. Adam. Where is he gonna sit? Oh. I don't know, I'm losing. Yeah, you can. Okay. I don't think you can. Okay, there. Who drops this?
So, man. Now, talking about this, Chukuma, I'd like to start with you now. What are your thoughts on this one? Do you foresee any special significance to the number that is in court with him today?
In all honesty, I don't. You know why I don't? Because this case is more like, it's not the legal tidbits that matters anymore. It is actually a political case. Because if you say that the addition of 14 senior advocates will make a difference, you are clearly saying that, look, the other 15 people have not done a good job. They have not been diligent in the prosecution and in the defense of Nnamdi Kanu's case and all of that. And I don't want to believe that.
This Barrister already disagrees.
No, Barrister is already disagreeing with me.
Okay.
But I am of the opinion that, look, this thing is not going to make any difference. Why? Because the case is clearly a political case. It's no longer legal because the courts have acquitted because discharged him. The federal government went back and slammed fresh charges against him. So, what happened to those charges that were, quashed by lawyers that led, in defense and all of that? So this is a clear case of politics. So I don't see the guest on the morning show, Shukana, with a made reference to Musharraf Perez when lawyers trooped out, and went to court. But I'm happy also that he said something about, the thing, deciding to a protest. People have been protesting. Igbos have been protesting for the past 4 years or so. Every Monday they sit at home and say, look, release this young man. So I know Onye Chikwazo is one fine lawyer. I understand that he has not lost a case since he started practice. you know, but is this going to be a different thing altogether? I also like the fact that Chuka said that, look, it's taking a political dimension, which goes back to what I said. This case is purely a political case. It's not dependent on the diligence of defense and prosecution. That is it for me.
Thank you, Mr. Okoro, but I will tell you the facts here.
Okay.
The lawyers have done a good job. It's a legal matter,
Okay.
as it is now. Because Nnamdi Kanu is being accused of terrorism charges. It's not a political issue. That is the allegation on his head. Now,
No, sorry, barrister, I hate to butt in. It's not a political issue, but Nnamdi's case has turned political.
No.
Is he not a political prisoner?
no, it have not turned to that because it is...
Okay, because the courts have clearly said you have no right, you rendition this man. You don't even have the local standard to try him. So why is the court still trying him? Why is the federal government still prosecuting the case?
Yes, it is now... Look, when you are talking of political issue, it is either a politician who is making trouble with the government and they now just put him somewhere.
No, barrister, I don't agree with you.
I am coming. Let me explain this thing to you, please. That is when it returns to a political issue, when somebody is a politician and he does not agree with the ruling government and the government are looking for a way to pigeonhole him somewhere.
Is that not what the case of Nnamdi Kanu is all about?
I'm coming now. Nnamdi Kanu was never a politician.
Barrister, who is a politician?
Must
Must you hold public office before you are designated a politician?
No. Please, Nnamdi Kanu is not a politician. He's a self-determination group leader. That is what he is now. He has said it severally.
So, barrister, why are we looking for a political track, a political solution to the Nnamdi Kanu case? Because you have said severally too that, look, that we need a political case. You have cited the cases of Showore and Igboho several times on the studio.
Those ones now, you can see the dimension you saw the dimension it took, especially that of Showore.
Okay.
He is known to be a politician. He contested the election. Abi? So those ones, you cannot now mix it up with Nnamdi Kanu's case. The allegation is what we are looking at here. Terrorism charges.
Barrister.
It is when you now listen.
I had to allow this to drag, you know, but Nnamdi Kanu's case, the court, like you said, you also said that a court has let him go. You also agreed and admit here that a court said you don't even have the local standard to try this man because you rendition him. Rendition is illegal. And the court said you don't have right to try him. Yet the federal government is still trying him. Why? Is it not a political case?
No. The federal government brought new charges.
Why did they?
Because after the 15 count charges was quashed at the appeal court,
okay,
the federal government now took the matter to Supreme Court. And that is where we are now. Are you getting it? That is where we are. So the issue here is that the legal luminaries in that court, they want to prove to the federal government that they are wrong in law.
All right then.
That is why we are. That's why we are where we are today. They want to prove to the federal government they are wrong in law.
Barrister, this is not. Sorry, Moses. Barrister, this is not the first time lawyers have proved to government that they are that they are wrong. The same government went back, immediately rearrested him and slammed fresh charges on him.
That's what we are saying.
Barrister, that is not what we are saying. We are saying two different things.
No, we are not. They have not rearrested Nnamdi Kanu when the court have discharged and acquitted him. They only brought fresh charges after that appeal court had been quashed.
So why didn't they let him go?
No, because they brought fresh charges against him.
Why did they bring fresh charges against him?
Because that is what they want, and that's what these lawyers.
That is what they want. Isn't that politics?
No. That's what we are trying to prove to the government that you are wrong. That's just a simple truth.
Okay.
Okay. All right then. So this conversation will continue with everyone, you know, being entitled to their own views. Doctor, let me call you Honorable. What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
You didn't have Babe Saleh.
Well, please note that for defamation. Talking seriously, I want to align with Chukwuma that this thing is taking its political dimension. Then you also look at the array of senior lawyers, senior advocates. And that brings me to one incident that happened some years back. Somebody was fighting alimony in UK. He had a very good case. But when the Queen's Counsel came face to face with him, the first question he asked is, what he told the man is, look, you have a very good case, but the area of judges sitting on the bench against you, I will advise that to settle out of court. Because you imagine a woman fighting divorce and heading towards alimony, and you have all the women chauvinists sitting on the bench against a man. You should know that you already had a judgment before the judgment is passed. So whatever it is, lawyers are very, very smart. They know how to wriggle out of a quagmire. And so the point is, as it is today, starting a fresh case with Nnamdi Kanu, I consider it as elongating unnecessarily the continued stay of this man in detention. Because processes would also be stunted through claims, counter-claims, and affidavit, counter-affidavit at the end of the day. But every minute, not even a day, every minute this man stays in detention, it's reducing his ability to move on with his life. And it's also reducing his ability to even hold on to his family. Because the pressure would have been on the wife, if not for the support that he's getting. A woman cannot stay for that long and still expect a comeback. You remember what happened to Nelson Mandela in South Africa shortly after he was released. You know what happened to the wife? You know, things like that. Because I'm looking at the emotional part of this thing. He's still a young man. And then we'll go and marry again.
The wife will wait.
Mandela got married. You see, Mandela got married to Samora Mache's wife. But still, what we are saying is a political thing. And so, it will still require political solution to find a way out of this logjam.
As far as I'm concerned, this matter is going to even help Nnamdi Kanu's fight for self-determination. Because the whole world is going to see it from that prism, that this is now a persecution, not a prosecution. So the federal government is helping the man's case. That's the truth.
All right.
And that's where everybody look at it now. It's now what? A persecution, not prosecution. Because if you consider what is going on in Nigeria today, with Nnamdi Kanu being detained, you ask yourself, these other people that have done worse things than Nnamdi Kanu,
so now that
where are they being prosecuted?
Execution. So you align with the fact that it will need a political solution to solve.
You mean where the case is now? No, yes. The federal government wanted to go through the whole court process, and we agree. Let me see how they will prove it in court. Because remember what Binta Nyako said, that the federal government cannot sustain this charge against Nnamdi Kanu. She said it. That is why over these years, nothing has been done on that case.
Okay.
The federal government just rigmaroled, looking for a way. I don't know what they are trying to get out of this man. So it will help. In fact, when the Igbo said that they are being marginalized, it will help our case so that the whole world will see.
You have just validated what Chukwuma just said. That this is political.
No, hold on.
If you say
it's okay, let's not go back.
It is not assumption. Let it be seen. Because if it did not go through the whole court process, nobody will know what happened at the end of the day.
Barrister, would you prefer this case goes through the whole hog of the legal system and it lasts for the next 12 years? Or do you want a political solution where the case of Showore and Iboho were treated and dispensed with easily?
I have told you why those two left, because their brother is there. You and I know
so
that.
It is political, Barrister.
Hold on. All the Igbo leaders have gone to Asorok to plead with Buhari when he was in government.
Okay.
What came out of it?
So what does the federal government want?
They went to Tinubu What came out of it? Nothing.
What exactly does the federal government
Yes,
want?
they want to prove a case that cannot be proven. That's it.
So where does that leave Nnamdi? Where does that leave Nnamdi?
Let the court now decide. Because
the court that had decided before?
No, look, Mr. Okoro, let the court now decide.
Okay.
That's what we are saying. Yeah, because they wanted it. We did everything. All because that's why I don't want to go through that your route about political. They don't want it.
It's okay.
They don't want political solution.
Okay.
After we did everything anybody can do. Did they listen to us? Even one man said that they should hand Nnamdi Kanu over to him. Soludo, governor of Anambra, hand over Nnamdi Kanu, and anytime you want, I will bring him. Did they listen to him? So what else do you want us to do? Tell me.
All right. Then.
And if we now say we don't want court case, they say you see, they are running away from court case. Let them go to court.